Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of psicast. I am your host, Robert Marcy, and I'm joined here with Bill Montana and our special guest, Jim Carter of Little Jimmy's Prop Shop. Say hello, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. So this is the PK edition version of psicast. This is you guys are in for a real treat. And Bill, go ahead and start it off.
Okay, so today's program is going to be featuring Jim Carter, who's right over there, from Little Jimmy's Prop Shop. Now, you can find him on Facebook under Little Jimmy's Prop Shop. That's pretty simple. But so today's episode is going to be on nothing but PK. And we're going to focus on the props that Jim makes. Jim, say hello.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
And that's the voice of Jim Carter.
Yeah, I make simple PK props. That's what I'm doing right now. I got some cool ones on the market. I do everything.
Hang on, keep talking, Jim. We got the train. Robert, mute me for 30.
All right. Hang on. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I got some pretty unique props. I started out with a simple scarab prop that was it's really cool. I still make it. It's a set. Basically, the PK one is a different color than the rest of them, and there's and the colors can be anything. I make them myself. I make them by hand. And I make them the colors that you want them. So, you got one PK and 4 non-PKs with whatever color setup you like. I also do old aged scarabs that look really cool. They look like they were just dug up. It's really awesome. If you go to the page on Facebook, ask to join, Little Jimmy's Prop Shop, you get to see everything I make. Right now, I put it right there on the page, show you all the stuff I'm making right now, producing. At this time, we got a free scarab going to be heading out shortly. What I'm doing is I'm gathering up all the names. I think we got close to 60 people actually on the prop shop right now. I just opened it up not too long ago. And basically, I'm going to draw a name, and whoever I draw will get a free scarab. So that's kind of cool.
Well, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. I want to do fun things, I want to do something interesting that people can come onto the shop and check it out and, have fun. Like I posted our show here because I was really excited about that. I want people to actually check out the show and understand where I'm coming from and kind of the cool things I'm making, So, I hope a lot of people will jump aboard and listen to this show and see what's going on. I know a lot of people from your show are they're just learning about me. So, they don't even know anything about Little Jimmy's Prop Shop. So I hope they get steered in the right direction and check out the Facebook page. I'm hoping to get a website here in a little bit, but like I said, right now I'm just doing the Facebook thing. So hopefully there's a lot of Facebook people listening right now. But
yeah, I'm sure they'll find you eventually. But let's get into a little your background. What brought about all this? I mean, when did you get into magic?
Yes, I got into magic. Way back in the day, this was probably about 15 or so years ago, I had a friend that did magic in, of all places, Arkansas. That's where I was living at the time. And so I started getting into magic, started learning stuff and checking everything out. And I went to this one what is it, like a conference or whatever, and they had this magician there that he did mentalism, But he showed me a really cool PK trick, and it was with a coin. You sign a coin, you throw it in a bag of coins, you shake them up, and by God, you can dip your hand in there and grab that signed coin right out of that bag, and that took me through a loop. I was like, I was new to magic. I was like, oh my God, how cool is that, And it was a simple PK trick, and that was the first PK trick I've ever seen. So after that, it just, it got me thinking. I mean, what else can you do with PKs, There's just so much out there that, and they have the electronical devices now that are just amazing, and it lends itself so well to the PK environment that I do sell to a lot of people that have this equipment. In fact, I started. It was about I would say about 12 or so years ago. I started making really simple skulls, and they looked kind of like tribal skulls, I guess. And they were made out of a plastic material. It wasn't like right now I'm making stuff out of stone, but the stuff I had back then was like a plastic putty. I don't know how to explain it. I forget what it's called, but you can buy it pretty much at any of the shops. And I was making sculptures out of that, and you can grind on it and all that other stuff, but that's what I started with way back when, and that was a skull, a simple skull.
Right, for our listeners, everything you make right now is out of stone?
Out of stone, yeah. It's
all hand carved
material.
I mean, so you're doing these one at a time. You're not like mass producing, molding them, and pouring acrylics
There's some molding going on, but it's a combination of that with sculpture techniques. So if you get one of my products, like if you get a scarab, it's not going to be the exact same, most likely, as somebody getting one of my other scarabs. Not only that is you can change the color of the scarab whatever you want. I mean, I've had people ask me, well, can you make this color of a scarab? Oh, sure. I can make any color. Just let me know what you're interested in. I personally like the old look,
The faint blues and greens, yeah.
Yeah, I like the old look and stuff like that. But any color, I can do any color. I can do any if they want something high gloss, I can do a high gloss. I can do matte finish. I'm pretty much it. And it's kind of weird. Way back, even before magic and stuff, I did auto body, and it's kind of funny. I had somebody talk to me. He talked online. His name is Scott Land. He does puppets. And I was online. I was hearing him talk about how building puppets, if you think about doing auto body, because there's a layer process and the painting process and what have you. And it was funny because I have that in my history. So not thinking about it, I am kind of using some principles from that to make a lot of my products. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that may, So it's kind of interesting to hear other artists out there doing, their own thing, but we kind of come from the, kind of the same background, and you hear people using certain techniques and everything, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's it, I also had this one guy. He asked me he said, "Can you make brains?" And I said, I don't have brains, but I can make brains, yeah. And I thought, what a cool thing. If you're doing mentalism, to pop out a brain out of your pocket, I thought, how cool is that? That sounds awesome. So I worked together with him. We actually I made a brain for him, And now I sell that on my shop. I was like,
yeah, I saw that. I saw the little brains there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's good for the mad scientist routines and all that stuff. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And then he made an idol, right? A little effigy idol type thing.
Oh yeah, I have this like a little female idol that's just it's a fertility goddess thing. It's really awesome. I like that. Plus I have this one that looks like a old bird or a bird type of idol too that looks really awesome. You know, so I mean, I'm coming up with different things all the time, but so far, you know, I got some really cool stuff out there. I got quite a bit.
So far, you made a lot of scarabs, though. I mean, you're making a lot of scarabs.
Oh, a ton of them. Yeah, that's the highest amount of thing. You know, I've been selling more scarabs than anything else. And after that, it might be skulls. Skulls are kind of cool. People like that. They like the stoniness feel of the skull and everything like that. I can make a skull. I can make it a half skull, so you don't have a jaw, and I can make it with a jaw. So just all depends on what they want and stuff. And
Jim, I was taking a look at it, and I was looking at the skull amulet. Looks pretty cool.
Is that awesome or what? Yeah, I love that amulet too. Yeah,
and the fetish stone, pre-Columbian fetish stone.
Yeah, that's the one that's the fertility goddess or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty intense to make it because the stone shapes and stuff like that. I wanted to give a feeling that it's worn out, like it's just been sitting there for years and years. So if you pick it up, it looks like it's an object that was, sitting in the jungle for years and years, and you just picked it up, and now you got a magical object, you know, which is kind of cool, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Now, your listeners probably at this point are kind of curious of what the prices on a lot of these things are, and they're not much. I mean, it's
No. That's one thing too. I can keep the prices pretty low. I quite frankly, my most expensive item actually has real jewels for the eyes. That's that little skull amulet, and I'm what I got going for that. It's like about $39, and that's super expensive for me because most of my stuff is in the $20 range. In fact, I have my smaller scarabs that only go for $15.25. You know, so it's all pretty much small potatoes in price.
Yeah. Now, does that price include shipping or no?
No, but and that's one of the things I'm having issues with, like overseas. It's so expensive to ship stuff. Like,
it's
I've been
ridiculous.
shipping a lot of stuff to Europe and I think Australia. I've been sending stuff out to Australia, and quite frankly, it's pretty much anywhere you go. It's almost like a little over $13 to ship anything, you know. And
yeah, I mean overseas
like,
it costs anywhere $13 to $18 for a small piece. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Right, and
it costs as much as
so what I did for these people, and I'm doing this for local people too. You order 3 of my products, you know, together, and anywhere in the United States, I'll ship it for free. You order 3 of my products, 3 of my products anywhere in the world, I'll ship it for half price, and that's, you know, and
good deal.
People really went nuts over that one. So
now, what's your process when you go into making them? Because I want to stress the quality of these things. They're not like your typical, you know, Hong Kong Chinese molded crap.
No, right, exactly.
So let's run through a process of you making one of these scarabs so they know what they're buying and they know they're getting a high quality prop.
Right. Well, I get the best magnet and the strongest magnet. So I don't know what anybody's using. I don't know how many people are actually doing PK props right now or what they're using for their PK props. But what I do is I use the N52 magnet. Neodymium magnet?
Yeah, neodymium iron boron magnet, N52 grade, which is probably some of the best stuff out there.
Yeah, so I mean, and I make sure, like, depending on how big the prop is or whatever, it's going to be the maximum amount to put into that prop. You know, I'm not going to just put a tiny little magnet in a huge prop. So you get a prop, pretty much the whole prop is going to be part of that the magnet's going to be part of that whole prop. It's not going to be just a little bitty nib of a magnet in a huge prop, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Now, what would you do? The polarities, you said one of them on the skull, the polarity was what, south to the head?
Oh, what was that now?
The polarity of the magnet, the north-south axis of the magnet?
Oh, yeah. You know, I've been trying to do, like the skulls, I've been trying to do, like, north on one side, south on the other. So let's say you lay it on its side, and you have an electronic device that can tell you the which direction the magnet's facing. You'll be able to tell them whether the skull's on its left side or on its right side. You know, you can do more than just tell which hand it's in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Quite frankly, with the skull, you could have people clasp their hands, because I do what is this one? This one's a 2-inch skull. I do a 2-inch skull that you can clasp your hands together. You can line a whole bunch of people up. They can mix it up within themselves. They can lay that skull on their clasped hand on its left or right side or whatever. You can go down the line. You can find that skull. You can even tell them which side the skull is on, you know. And if you wanted to, which would be cool, you could even, and I could do this by engraving. I can engrave each side for you. And it can be a yes or no side, okay? So let's say you have the skull and it says yes on one side, it says no on the other. You can start doing different tricks with yes or no. That's kind of cool, right? I mean, there's so much you can do with this. And I was just telling you a little while ago, I just got a new engraving set and a new sculpting set. I'm putting most of the money back into my tools and stuff, because quite frankly, when I started this, I didn't have very many tools and everything. So now that I have a lot of more sculpting tools, I can do a lot more to these skulls than I did before, or to the scarabs. Oh, I got this really cool idea for the scarab. I don't know if I can bring it out just yet, because I'm still working on it. I'm always working on something that's maybe can be brought into the PK stuff, just like the yes or no thing with the skulls, you know. And I also, I don't really promote it, but I can do custom work for anybody. That the actual brain was a custom job at one time, and I asked him if I could actually produce it as one of my items to sell, and he had no problems with it. So I was able to.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
You know, yeah. So some of this comes out of that. You know, comes out of my special projects that I'm making. And
what we're talking about here is we're talking about handcrafted items for around $20. It's ridiculous. Why is everybody not buying this stuff up? That's what I want to know.
It is pretty awesome, you know.
You go pay, $150 for some Chinese crap.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's
a lot of this stuff, when you get into this quality of magic, is really, you're buying, in this case, craftsman skill for about the price of less than the price of McDonald's or the pizza or something. You know, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to think about it.
Robert, you're looking at the site, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you seeing over there?
Oh my gosh! I was looking at the dog. That's a really nice carved little piece right there. I also noticed where'd that go? Oh yeah, that there's like let's see here. Yeah, skull bags. Nice little hand carved small looking skulls on drawstrings.
Is that awesome or what? Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah, and you can put your skulls in the bag, because I give those out for free. If you buy a skull from me, that comes with your skull. And basically, you can pull that right out of your pocket, open that bag up, pull that skull out of that bag, and people just go nuts. They're like, oh, this is awesome. And it looks so cool.
That's so cool. Now, I really like that skull amulet because you can also, because if I understand correctly, you can use it as a pendulum.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. Exactly. You're very good. I like that. Yeah. In fact, it would make a really cool pendulum because depending on what you're using for your baits, you could really manipulate it and do some wacky things with it. That is awesome. I love that. Yeah. And those come with deerskin leather straps. So they're ultra soft. You put them on. It's comfortable when you have them on you. You know, I don't know if anyone knows
how much is this? You know. How much is this?
The pendulum or the necklace?
Yeah.
Necklace is $39 with the jeweled eyes, but I can make it without the jeweled eyes, and I can lower the price to around $25. So
incredible!
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, this is why we bring you guys the underground builders, because these are the best deals in mentalism.
And the thing is, too, with the 2-inch skulls, I can put the jewels in the eyes of the 2-inch skulls, too. So, I mean, that's something that can be done with anything that I have with that type of eye socket type deal. Now, I have a 3 millimeter skull that it's probably I call it a voodoo skull. But I don't know if the eye sockets are, I'd have to get smaller jewels for that.
3 millimeter?
Yeah,
that's pretty small.
Yeah, or not 3 millimeter, 3 centimeters, right?
3 centimeters, 30 millimeter. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Jim, what really caught my eye here was the scarab sets. So basically, it's like a 1 PK and 4 non-PK scarabs. I think that's what you were talking about earlier. And for $25, I mean, it's like, yeah, you could do a Kiritsuki effect. I was thinking, to make it really look good, it's like you could use it with the skull bag.
No, yeah.
This is great.
Yep. Now that the set that you see that has the different color, oh gosh, I'm trying to find the guy's name. There's a magician that came up with the multicolored stone trick. I don't sell the tricks themselves. Basically, I do the props, and you come up with your own trick. That's
right. That is actually preferred for most of us.
Yeah, because I've seen so many people make it their own. My simple scarabs that I have, they're smaller than the bigger ones that I have, but each one you can put in your hand and everything, one-handed. The small scarab, this one guy from Louisiana said, I'm going to make that a swamp beetle. I said, what? He said, I'm going to make that a swamp beetle, and it's going to be from a hoodoo man that was around this area. And
there you go.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that is awesome. That's why I'm not, selling this pre-done magic trick with everything, because, man, people are coming up with their own deals, and it's making these products have their own life, and that's just so impressive to me. That is just so cool. So,
And that's how it's supposed to be too. People,
I agree.
People are supposed to come up with their own routines and not just copy everybody else. And it's going to look like another automaton.
Well,
because I already got ideas in my head for some of your pieces for what we do in mental mentalism.
Yeah,
which is stuff they've never seen before. Plus, since they're made out of this stone, they're not like just plastic resin cast junk that we usually see.
Exactly. That's true. They have a different feel to them, and that's
they have a feel because the originals are made out of what's known as fans. It's a glass type of clay from ancient Egypt, about 600 BC to about 1st century BC. And it's a really interesting process they made them, but it's basically fired sand. But every time you hand one of those out, they chip and they get broken, and it's just not good. This stuff seems durable. I mean, that's great, and it looks old, and it looks right, and feels right, and smells right. It doesn't look fake.
Yep. Right.
Which is always a big plus in my line of work.
I tell you what. In fact, I had somebody said, what happens if I drop this or what have you, and it chips the paint or something? First of all, it's fairly hard to chip the paint of these things. Some of them may be a little bit easier, but I've started using a certain spray coat. Just the other day, I started using a certain spray coat that really acts like a hard shell. So it's going to be harder than heck to pass that. Now, I'm not going to say they're indestructible. They're not indestructible. But
don't drop it. But if it drops, it drops.
Yeah. Right.
Get another one. It's $20.
Well, you know what? That's true too. But I try to get them so that.
What I would do is, buy 2 at once, so you got a backup in case somebody steals it, which will, that happens quite frequently in my line of work.
That's true. Yeah.
We try to watch the big stuff, but some of the small stuff, tends to not come back, but it's okay.
Yeah. I also do different designs, like on some of the scarabs. You'll see that here in the future. I'll probably take some pictures of different.
Now, are you carving in the underside of them, the flat side?
Yeah. The more detailed scarabs actually have hieroglyphics on one side.
There you go. That's what the originals look.
Right. The small ones, I didn't do that too, because they're small. They're the sets are pretty cheap. I try to just get those kicked out as fast as I can, and I do a lot of painting work on them. So the painting takes up a lot of time. So the least amount of carving I can do on some of them, the better. But some of the more detailed ones, like the more detailed scarab, you're looking at spending about $20 for it, opposed to $15-$25 for the smaller scarab.
$20 still nothing.
So, yeah, it's not that bad. And like I said, I'm coming up with things every day. Some interesting things are coming to the surface. I'm working on something right now. And stuff that you probably aren't going to see. Some of the stuff you're not going to see because I'm just experimenting, I got this one skull that I'm making that's a skull necklace that it's going to be a clown, kind of a spooky skull clown, So I don't know if that's going to show up on the marketplace, but, I'm just trying different things to amuse myself, I guess. But it's looking pretty cool so far, so you never know. It might show up on my site. Who knows? but it might be cool.
Yeah, and the black skull here without the mandible, and the one with the mandible, it's like 2 inches, $25 for $267 shipping in the United States.
Yep,
it's really cheap. I mean, a couple years ago, Murphy's and some of the other people started selling these little magnet kits, right? Just for some loose magnets cost them like $1 for $50.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah, and here we got an entire physical prop, and a nice little bag, and everything else for $20-$25.
Yeah. You're getting a high quality
Colombian stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks really good to me. I can have a very good use for that. The black scarab is just awesome.
Well, you know what I did with the black scarab? I painted it all flat black, and then what I did is I highlighted the shell top and the head.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I can see in the photo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just awesome. It's a stunning piece. It looks really cool. So yeah, that one I'm proud of. Personally, I like the old look, but what I did with that piece, I love that too. It's kind of funny. I'm sitting here collecting a lot of my own stuff, so I'm like, I love this one. I'm going to keep this one over here, So the one guy that did the brain came up with the idea of the brain. I told him, I said, man, I got one of those brains in my collection now because it's just so cool. I love it.
Well, that's the thing I want to point out when you're doing this stuff. Keep one of everything you make.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I got some products I thought I could remake, and I lost the files on one. That product's no longer in existence because I'm not going to redo the file. It took too many days to do. And then we did quarter shiners, the quiet core quarters. I sold them all, like 24 or 26 of them. There's not many made. And then they changed the abrasives on me, and I couldn't make them anymore.
Oh, man.
Ooh, there it is. And I don't even have one. So, it's one of those things where if you keep a sample of everything you've done, you at least got a full set.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's...
I got like probably, 30 products I can't... They're gone. They're done. But yeah,
crazy? I mean, you make something and it's just like, dang, maybe I should have kept one, because they're totally awesome, I mean, that's the deal. I mean, you're making something that it might be collectible, but it's also usable, Yeah,
the food dog looks pretty cool. The little bag with skulls on it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm just looking through some of your recent stuff here, and it's got some neat stuff, man.
Yeah, I did not do the carvings on those skulls. They're wooden skulls. They're prayer beads, in fact. They're Buddhist prayer beads. So that's what I did have to drill them out a little bit more to get them on the bag and stuff like that. But I thought, why not put some prayer beads on these bags, especially for the skulls? It's going to make them rock. It's going to make them look cool. And people are just going nuts, It's funny, this one guy, he ordered a skull necklace for me. And he's like, and this is when I first started making those skull bags. And he said, do I get a skull bag with that? I said, you sure do get a good skull bag with that. I said, I appreciate your business. Thank you. So I'm sending him a skull bag. He's like, oh, this is awesome, But, I mean, those little things mean a lot. They really do. I mean, certainly, like I don't even, should I give a bag out to each product that I sell? Well, some people wouldn't, but I think that little extra makes a better presentation and a better like if you put your scarab in your pocket, you don't want your change hitting it and doing whatever, you want to keep it protected and safe, and how cool is it to have a cool little bag that it can be placed into, and you can pull it right out of your pocket in the bag, and people are like, oh, what's in that bag? It's a mystery. It's something that will lend itself to any production, So yeah, I mean, little things I think matter a lot, you know, when you're selling little products like this.
Yeah, I mean, the pre-Columbian fetish thing looks pretty much right to me, actually. And even the little, you know, the ancient bird there looks pretty good.
Hey, did you check the back of that bird?
Yeah.
It's like it's been chiseled out of a larger piece. That's kind of what I wanted the feel to be.
Yeah, it looks like it's flint knapped. It looks like it's made out of black obsidian and flint knapped. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, in fact, I'm holding one right now. And that whole back is actually hand-carved by me to get it to look like it's been chipped away from maybe a larger image, you know, like maybe a pyramid or a Colombian deal in Mexico or what have you, you know.
It kind of looks like some of the early Native American cultures around Michigan. I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. I think it lends itself to many different areas, you know. But that's the type of detail I try to put into each product.
And you said this is made out of stone?
That is made out of stone. The bird is. Yeah. In fact, all my products right now are made out of stone. In the future, there might be a shift to do other materials, and I'll tell you why. And I don't want to reveal some of the stuff I'm going to be doing because I want it to be brought out at the time that I bring it out.
Right. I get that, yeah.
Okay, but there are things that are, naturally made of plastic, right? Or what's that old material that's not plastic, but it's something else? I can't remember.
Bakelite.
Yeah, exactly. So those materials I could probably get away with making a plastic item, okay?
Right, they're not going to know the difference. Synthetic ivories and all that stuff, yeah.
But if I'm doing something that originally was made of stone or natural things like that, I want to try to keep them in a natural feel, you know, so I want them to still be made of stone. You know, if you make something that should be made of stone, you make it out of plastic, people are going to be suspect, you know. But if you bring out a stone skull and say, hey, this, you know, and you have your own story behind it, people are going to go, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. And they're going to look at it, they're going to hold it. It's going to be a stone skull in their hand, you know. Same thing with the scarabs. I mean, the scarabs are made of a material that feel like a scarab, you know, and they don't feel like a piece of plastic in your hand. And they don't have that plasticky weight or what have you. But later on, like I said, I got some ideas for different sculptures. I got some ideas for different boy, I wish I could tell you some of the stuff because it's cool. I like spooky things too. I don't know if you guys like spooky things, but I just get a big kick out of like things that are a little bit dark, on the dark side. You know, that's what interests me sometimes. And you know, like with the voodoo skull, you know, I was playing around with the idea of doing stuff, maybe adding some type of hair or something to the voodoo doll, you know, something that will make it different, you know, that you can hold it up by the hair maybe. I don't know. I'm still working on that. Also, I was thinking about taking a stick and mounting the head on a stick and creating a voodoo doll, you know, doing like a simple voodoo doll, but the voodoo doll would be able to move around and do some interesting things, you know. So I'm always thinking about different things with some of the products I sell now, and I don't know. And then I get a lot of customers that are like, hey, can you do this or can you do that? Well, maybe customize a skull with maybe some witchcraft pentagrams or something like that. And yeah, I'm all good with that. I can do that for them, you know. It all depends on what you want, you know. Kind of interesting stuff.
Oh, I definitely think it's interesting stuff. Yeah, I like it.
But,
I like
so,
the Eastern Bird, and I really like the Free Columbia. I placed an order for one, so you'll see it when you get to your Facebook.
Very cool.
That's definitely my kind of stuff. So I can fit that right into the mystic energy stuff and not even think about it.
You're the one that has the color changing crystal, correct?
Yeah.
That is awesome, Bill, man. That is like, when I saw the video of that, I was like, oh, wow, that is awesome. But
it
anyway,
was a Tom Phoenix creation that's on the low-down market. Basically, we have to like you before we even think about selling you one.
Right.
That's a piece we're using in, I'll give you a brief. We use that high-end metaphysics work to pull out anger from people and do other rituals with. It's pretty powerful stuff. It's not even your typical, we're way beyond magic tricks here. So that one's on the lockdown. We don't like talking about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to. Yeah, I'm sorry to bring that up, but yeah.
No, that's all right. I just want to give you a quick synopsis of it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of your stuff is pretty darn awesome.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff's for hardcore.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like I said, my stuff is more like in the prop section where somebody can take magic and utilize it within their magic,
oh, yeah, I think that's really, really cool. That's why I dig your stuff. But
yeah, my
stuff's pretty much for the hardcore, psychic worker type stuff, and that's, I want to make a living.
Right. That is really cool.
And Robert's a dinner theater guy, so, he's out working for dinner theater trade shows and corporate events. He's out working all the time, so. But, it's a couple different viewpoints in there.
Yeah, where are you two from?
We're from Ohio, actually. He's up by Cleveland. I'm in Dayton.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And for our listeners, you're in what, Wisconsin?
Yep, Wisconsin, the wonderful state of Wisconsin, with right there on the border. It's called Beloit, but some people might recognize the town of Rockford, and that's in Illinois. But yeah, I'm right on the border there. I'm not too far from Chicago, in fact. So, Chicago or Milwaukee. And I imagine everyone knows where Madison is. That's just north of me. So I try to tell people Beloit, and they're like, oh, okay. And not too many people know Beloit. So
they can find you at Little Jimmy's Prop Shop.
Yes.
On Facebook right now. And I told you guys we got one of the hottest new built PK builders in the country. Hand carved stone, $20, ridiculous.
Well, I wanted things at a reasonable price.
Anybody else was doing this, they would have charged you $150, and you still paid it.
Yep, it's fun. I mean, and people are enjoying it. When you come and you join Little Jimmy's Prop Shop, you'll see fun things happening. Like I'm doing a giveaway for one of the scarabs anywhere in the world. I'm not saying just for here in the United States. Anywhere in the world, if you join Little Jimmy's Prop Shop, I'm going to be drawing names out of everybody in the group, and the winner will be posted here in a short period of time. I haven't really put down a set time, but it's going to happen really quick. So if you want to go for that promotional offer, make sure you sign up for Little Jimmy's Prop Shop if you're a Facebook user, because you could have some. It's a pretty good deal. Shipped right to you for free.
Great deal.
Yeah,
great deal. Just great looking stuff, though. I mean, usually we see. I mean, me and Robert, like when we do our buzz section, which you made here a couple of weeks ago because of the infamous Tony I turned us on to you. we wouldn't even known about you until it was, Tony said something, so, which is very, very cool.
It is very cool. He is a very nice guy, and
well, he likes quality stuff, so he's not going to turn me on to junk. So
no, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, you're just getting up and running, and you've been doing this for a while, but nobody really knew about you, and that's really kind of a shame.
Well, you know what? When I started it, I started just doing stuff for myself. I was like, oh, I want a skull. I want to make a skull, and I want to do this. I was making the stuff when people were using PK rings and all that other stuff, I didn't hear about the electronic devices until just recently, and there's some cool companies that are shooting up there that have some pretty cool PK-related devices that will make, like, my product, like, just snap, because okay, let's say you have one of the PK scarabs. Well, one side, you get one reading. The other side, you get another reading. And you can tell if it's flipped one way or flipped the other way. I mean, it's not just a one-handed, I got a coin in my hand, which hand is it in? I got this insane little prop that can do some pretty insane things. I can also, instead of engraving on the back hieroglyphics, I could do a yes, I could do a no on the flip side, or do some other saying that you want, and I'm coming up with a interesting piece. I will talk about this piece because I think it's really cool.
Hey, there we go. Something brand new. Come down.
Yeah, this is kind of cool, I don't usually like to talk about stuff until it's out and it's ready.
Now we love stuff that's on the buzz, man. That's not even out yet.
Yeah, so. This is kind of cool. Well, the story that I have with this is I have a great uncle that was a gambler. All right, and he had a lucky scarab. So you have the scarab out. You can have your favorite way to pull out whatever card you want to pull out. But basically what happens is you'll ruffle through your deck. You have them pick out whatever card they want to pick out. And the actual, and then, it's a PK device. So you can have them hold it in whatever hand they want. And not only can you guess which hand it's in, but if you flip over the scarab, or if it's already flipped over, depending, it will show that the card you selected is on the back side of the scarab. And that was my uncle's lucky card. And not
cool.
only that, his name is engraved on the top. So if it's Diamond Jim or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like
right
Diamond
there.
Jim, 2 of clubs. There you go.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it looks old, like it's been there for years and years and years. It could have been from the 1800s, whatever, Yeah. I mean, that's it. You can develop your own story too, but whatever works with the card, whatever name. If it's a small name, I can engrave it right on the back side. I mean, I'm doing the engravings myself, so it's no big deal.
That's what I really like about your stuff right now, is it's all one of a kind, handcrafted. It's not molded. Yeah. It's not, the typical, let's make 100 of these or 1,000 of these out of China.
Right.
Even out of China, they would have been plastic and they'd have been made like crap, and they would charge us $80. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and think about it. The actual paint job would have been crap.
The paint would have flaked off.
There you go. Right. So I take a lot of time with my paint. A lot of my paint is layered. It's layers upon layers, especially if I'm working on old looking stuff. I literally take layers and layers that I have to put on to make that look. So it takes me time to do that. And then I take in right now I have this new stuff that it's just super strong. and basically I can paint them flat. I've been doing some high gloss ones that look pretty gnarly. They look awesome, you know. Whatever way they want them. That's what I do, you know. And like I said, with the scarabs, what's cool about that is I've been doing scarabs, and I've been carving a lot of different things on their backs and everything like that, because when I make them, they basically have shoulder, the two wings, and the head. Okay, but what I can do is I can carve the wings so that they have a striped effect. I don't know if you ever looked at scarabs. Some of them have stripes on their wings and what have you. Some of them have stripes on their shoulders, and I did some stuff with that too. But I'm looking at them right now as I'm talking. And with the skulls, I can do a lot of colors with the skulls too. I've done a lot of people like the natural white look, but with a little bit of grunge to it, you know, so it looks like it's been sitting out for a while. I do a lot of those, and then I do a lot of flat black ones, which look really tough, and I do just high gloss ones too. So yeah, and like I said, with the skulls, with the engraving stuff I have now, we can do some insane things. You know, it just what kind of imagination do you have? You know. Because I can sit down with anybody and we can come up with something that is just for you, not anybody else, just for you. You know, and that's something I like to do too. You know, if you got an engraving you'd like to do that you sat down and thought of yourself, we can have that done for you. That's no big deal. In fact, as long as it's only 2 simple engravings or whatever, I won't even charge any extra for that. You know, if we get into some wacky stuff where it's getting a little, you know, out there and a little more design to it, then we'll have to talk about you know, different pricing and stuff. But if it's something simple, can be done pretty quick, you know, yeah, I can do that. No big deal. The yes and no thing, I can do that in a heartbeat. So
yeah, that's amazing.
Great.
Robert?
I just wanted to ask you, what got you into doing all this? What got you started?
Oh, well, I think I was talking the pre-show with Bill, and I had this magician show me a simple trick with a coin. It was just a quarter, and he had me sign my name with marker, and he had this huge bag of coins, and he threw the coin into the bag of coins. He mixed them up. He opened up the bag, put his hand into the bag, and rifled around the coins and picked out, without looking, of course, picked out the coin that I signed. And how crazy is that? I mean, this was quite a long time ago, and it was my first little bit of magic that I've actually seen, like, you know, somebody do, and it just amazed me, you know. And it's a simple PK trick. I mean, amazing. That's just I was stunned. That was my first introduction to PK. Now, after that, I had my own thoughts about doing certain things. I came up with my skull idea that I made, and I had a bunch of fun with that, and I used a PK ring for that. It was strong enough where I could have my PK ring under the table. I could actually move the skull with my PK ring. It was, in fact, my small scarabs that I have, I can do the same things with. I was literally at a McDonald's showing this other magician what it could do, and quite literally, I had my PK ring on, and through the thick table of that McDonald's, and it was pretty thick, it moved without a problem. And, you know, that's insane, you know. But that's what you get when you put the the right magnet inside these units. You know, if you don't skimp on the magnet, you're gonna be able to create some pretty cool things with them. And the one thing, Bill, you were talking about, the what is it? The fertility goddess.
Yeah, the pre-Columbian fetish. Yeah.
Yeah, the pre-Columbian fetish. I tell you what, the magnet is so strong with that. It's insane. If you have another magnet, you're going to see some pretty crazy things that you can do. Not only that, okay, you can have somebody cover that up with their hand. With a PK ring on, you're going to be able to tell what hand it's in. You know, that's how insane these things are. I mean, they got such big magnets. So let's say you have an electronic device you're using. Bingo. You know, that's just going to be that much easier to tell who has it and what hand they have it in, you know. Right now, I use a little handheld, wrist-held electronic device that I use, and it's just a vibration unit. It's very small and stuff. I have a friend here in the United States that is producing them. I don't know if he's actually going to produce them on the long term, but he made like a big run of them for a little while. So I kind of did some trading and stuff with him, and
can we mention his name?
Yeah, we can. Let me kind of.
Well, I'll tell you what. Get a hold of him and see if you can drop it on Jimmy's Prop Shop.
Okay. Yeah.
And then let the guys know that, you know, kind of another reason to want to go to Little Jimmy's Prop Shop.
Well, I'm hoping that he would advertise if he ever does make another production run off them, because let me tell you, they're really cool. They can do directions, you know, so you can tell which side is what and what have you. I think he introduced them. I don't want to tell you what the price is because I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I mean, he's doing stuff to him right now too, so I don't know. But yeah, if he makes another production run, I'll have him on Jimmy's Prop Shop, because definitely you guys need to check him out.
Yeah, because we like the inside information on the underground builders. So.
Heck yeah.
Because I don't like the products I'm using being researched by everybody, you know, with a damn iPhone.
Yeah, understand that.
And that's the one thing about your stuff. A lot of people never seen it. So, I mean, you know, right now we got like 60, 70 people that even know you exist, and you're one of the best PK builders out there, in my opinion.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think they don't know I exist because I just really basically started. I started promoting it to other people. You know how things are. I mean, you have something kind of cool and stuff, and you're doing it yourself, and you're not thinking about, oh, should I release this to the magic community? You know, it's like, I'm just doing this myself. This is awesome, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to be, actually, because a lot of the stuff I do, I just do for myself, so, you know.
Yeah, there you go, you know. And I had several people in the magic community, they're like, why don't you release that? I'm like, what do you mean release it? They're like, why don't you put that out there? Because it's kind of cool, you know. I said, well, I don't know. Maybe I will, you know.
Well, you can't make these things 100 at a time, so that's out. You know, they're still going to be.
Yeah. I can't.
And if you get 100 orders, you might be a while making them. So you know.
Right. You got that right. Yeah.
And then that's cool. I mean, that's not a problem. It just, you know, they can't. You know, if they want quality, they got to wait. I mean, it might be a month waiting list. Might be two. I mean, you know.
I tell you what, I can get these done fairly quickly. I don't know about months, but you know, if I get like a huge amount of orders, you know, yeah, it'd slow me down a little bit. That's for sure. You know, right now I'm just making them. Well, okay, this is kind of an interesting thing too. When I first started making these, and I first like doing stuff for other people, I did the small scarabs at first, and they're very simple. You know, they're just small little scarabs and everything like that. They don't have the hieroglyphs on the backs and or on the underside. And they're easier to make and stuff. So I started making those, and I had simple tools. I didn't have any tools that like right now I have a grinding tool that's electric, you know, and I didn't have any of that before. So it was like I was doing all this by hand and everything, and then after I was done with it by hand, then I had to paint it, you know, and that was that's still done by hand, by the way. And then I did a finishing coat, which was basically a flat spray can coat. You know, now I'm doing them a little bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean,
now.
A lot of guys, they start off and they don't have any equipment, and then, you know, they can only do so much.
You get pretty creative. You get pretty darn creative when you don't have that equipment to make them quicker, you know. There's a lot of different things you can do to get them produced a little bit faster, but let me tell you, it's a heck of a lot better when you have grinding tools and things you can shape things with and everything like that. The more people support you, the better equipment you get and the better the product will be. Oh, most definitely, and that's kind of what I hope as time progresses and more people realize where I am and where they can buy my stuff and what have you. Most of that stuff is going back into the actual work, producing different things and maybe making things produced a little bit faster. That'd be nice, you know.
Oh, that'd definitely be nice, but I mean, it's still going to be handmade, so it's.
Yeah, most definitely.
Which means the technology is a little better. I mean, I got some stuff and that makes stuff pretty fast, but it's still, man, that equipment's expensive. And they wonder why I'm, what I charge, and I'm like, well, did you take 30 hours making the thing? No.
Most definitely. You're exactly right. I mean,
and I'm using high-tech equipment, and it still takes, hours and hours of finishing and sanding and, to get this thing to look right. I mean, it's not, I don't make junk.
Right.
And that's why I get really, really pissed off when people like, well, he's trying to make money on this. What money, dude? What money?
No,
I mean, I build kitchen cabinets, I can make $5,000. I build this damn thing, I can make about $2. I mean, this is a courtesy here, people.
Right. You're exactly right.
My, 20, 30 hours of time. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I think it's important, though, that, these things are made, and they're made in the old way. We make the magic stuff. Some of us have got production equipment now, but we still take time to make sure it's, correct before it goes out. The Chinese don't do that, man. The Chinese stuff's crap. Quit buying it.
Right.
Well, I can get this for, $25, and the original's, $3,000. Well, there's a reason why the original's $3,000.
Well, yeah, and then they become disappointed that what they got was crap. And then
it's like the creator's fault that they bought crap. They bought a knockoff.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God!
I saw a guy had a copy of my PMF book. Second motherfucker. It was a knockoff, right? It was not one I printed. It was a Chinese knockoff. It was falling apart, and he wanted me to guarantee it. I'm like, dude, why don't you send it back to China?
Oh my God! Yeah, that's insane. That's insane.
I mean, you would have bought mine. It would have been a lot better quality than that crap, and I would have guaranteed it.
Yeah. But you know what? Some of these people don't realize that what they're buying, like online at some of the, because basically, like if you go to eBay and you type in whatever you're looking for, whatever, if it's whatever it is and it's coming from China, they're not going to say knockoff. They're going to say this is such and such. Yeah,
or you go to one of these really bad sites, you can buy my forcing pendulum for $7. Yeah, read it carefully. It's the instructions only.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even get a pencil with it for your $7. Because you wanted to say, see, those were released for $25 and no longer made, but that was another one I couldn't get the supply dried up. Because I was using the original Jim pendulums as the base for them. They were better quality than the new crap.
Yeah.
But, it's just like, come on, people. And then there was a bunch of modifications done to them. And two of those modifications we still never talked about. Except for one time in Vegas. If you guys were in Vegas, you would have heard those modifications. But, what are you going to do, man? They make crap. I don't want crap around.
This is what I do. I do not compete with anybody else. I compete.
Nobody else is doing. Nobody else wants to do what you're doing. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, I tell you that might be true because I compete with myself. I make something, and then I tinker with things. I try to make it better. Even if somebody says, "How can you make your skull better?" It looks awesome. I don't know.
You can make it better.
I will think about it. It
can always be made better.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, painting process can be maybe better done somehow.
It's all on that. It's just, I've been making one piece for a while now, and it keeps getting better and better. And the early ones that we made, the first batch, were incredible. They were really well made. A Baltic birch, really nice quality all the way through. Precision to within 0.02 of an inch. 0.02 of an inch. I'm not playing around here.
Yeah.
I'm not making trash, but this is stuff that just takes time and really expensive equipment. But the early batch was really, really good. The newer batches are even better because the material that they're being made out of got better. The Baltic birch and the glues they're using now is even better than it was, 5 years ago when I started making them.
Wow.
And we don't, it's one of those things where they increase the quality of the materials. The materials are better, and then the pieces gets better. But it's all everything can be made better. It just all depends on how you start. Like you're starting with stone. That's pretty impressive. I thought these were, when I originally saw them, I thought they were cool, but I thought they were molded out of one of the resins or plastics or something.
Oh yeah, that's what people think. They're like, oh, well, what is this? Is this plastic? Is this resin? Or
Well, for $20, that's kind of what I expected. I didn't realize it was stone.
Yeah.
$20. I can see. You fill in the stone after you put the magnet in it. But that's acceptable.
Right.
But that means it's cold when you touch it most of the time, or at least not.
How the stone is kind of cool to the touch and all that.
That's what you want. Yeah. Guys, I'm telling you, buy his stuff now before it goes to plastic.
Well,
get your order in. Do it today.
All these will never go to plastic. Everything will still be stone and stuff. Now, like I said, some of the stuff I'm thinking about and working on, if it's originally made in plastic, I might do stuff like that just because I want to.
Well, that's integrity of material, though. That's integrity of material time period. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But an old effigy needs to be, stone or clay. Either one. Both were used.
Right.
Even some of those effigies, some of the stuff was made out of an early cement that was molded out of pre-Columbia.
Yeah. The reason I use stone is because people, when they see stone or they feel it in their hands and whatever, they are not thinking magnet, right? That's the last thing they're thinking in their hands. So, and that was a big reason why I decided to use the material I did, because in fact, I just shipped out a scarab the other day to a gentleman in Italy, and that was his second purchase, and he just loves, what I do and stuff. And his first purchase was the pre-Columbian fertility goddess. And,
well, there you go.
Yeah, he was so impressed that he's like, man, I'm going to have to order something else. And I feel bad about the shipping costs that everyone has to endure, to ship it. But I also only charge the actual price that I have to pay. And then
which goes up every 2 weeks. But yeah.
It seems like it. It seems like it. And I pay for the actual packing material and what have you. So, I try to make sure, even though they have to pay extra and stuff for shipping, that they get a decent product when it gets to them. You don't want something, I put bubble wrap. I mean, people will see once they get their product, it's going to get there, and their products are going to get to them in a decent fashion, in a decent order, so I pay for all that myself and everything like that, and so that comes out of the actual cost of the unit anyway. So, and then I came up with the idea: if you buy 3, I'll try to pay for some of the shipping too, because I know that'll help the consumer and stuff. So,
you're still not making any money, man.
Yeah, when I ship them that way, I'm cutting.
No, I mean even your retail price is ridiculously low.
Yeah, right now I agree with you. They are kind of low right now, but I want I'm new, so I want people to buy them. I don't want people to hesitate, like, oh well, that is a pretty expensive piece. Maybe I'll just hold off. I want people to say, hell, I can afford that. I can buy that. I think that's
your prices, they can afford a complete set and not even think about it.
Well, there you go. And then they would get free shipping if they're in the United States if they got at least 3 items. There you go.
I mean, Robert, tell me about his prices. It's ridiculously low.
Yeah, they're too low.
Yeah.
I got PK rings I paid more than that for.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There you go. And where a lot of those coming from, and most of them are coming from China too, depending on where you purchase and stuff.
I got some just brass amulets and stuff that I paid more than that for.
Oh yeah.
But I use them in my act, so they are a valuable piece. But
I was about to say, brass amulets are pretty cool too. I love brass amulets.
Well, my favorite's my Patrick Flanagan sensor too from '76. I picked up at a thrift store for $30. They sell online for about $250. But it's one of those things where I saw it, I was like, that's mine.
And that's why I go to thrift stores too, man. You don't know what you're going to find and stuff like that. And quite frankly, the coolest places to go are the places that people have their own individual shops. What are they called? A flea market, group flea markets or whatever. The little garage sale. Inside
flea markets. Yeah.
Oh, I love those places, man. I'm like, especially for old. I love old boxes. How cool is it? And check this out. I don't. I can't make old boxes. I don't got enough equipment and stuff. But if you bought an old box and you wrapped up your scarab and you put it in the old box and carried it out on stage or presented it wherever you're performing, how flippin' cool would a presentation like that be? A beat-up old box or possibly a very high-quality antique would be awesome. You're going to pay a little bit of bucks for it, but the presentation alone is just going to blow people away,
Well, a couple of months ago, me and Robert did a program called The Box, which is about using, it's really advanced strategies on using old boxes as props for doing things and pulling stuff out of them and the whole market behind that. But it's literally just entire shows in one box. This is one of those things that could go in the Box program. That's like 3 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah,
that was long.
Wow.
But yeah, that was an audio program we did on just a box, and really strong stuff in there. But I mean, you're pulling, objects of mystery out of an old box, and and that was the foundations of Pandora was in there too. So for you Pandora users.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all wrapped up in that program that you'll find the original version of Pandora, how it came about, and all that.
Oh, very
pretty cool. And then Tim Weisman, ended up building Pandora. Now he owns the rights, the technical building rights to Pandora, so that's good. So it's still being made. And then I think it's Gemini Artifacts, I think, wherever Tim's at now is you can get them from him. But yeah. And the box program,
awesome.
the audio program.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the psicast here a couple weeks ago.
Yep. In fact, I think you gave me that, sent me that program.
I might have seen that one because he covered all kinds of just wild stuff on that one.
It was awesome. I listened to the whole thing. It was great.
Yeah, there's just like so much information coming out of his mouth every 5 seconds. It's really worth listening to about 20 times.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's amazing what people bring into the game. I mean, it's mind twisting. I mean, I wish I knew half, a fourth of what you know. That would be just crazy awesome.
Yeah, I know way too much.
Oh man!
And I'm still learning stuff. So
this is.
But yeah, we wanted to kind of introduce Jimmy's Prop Shop to the whole planet here, or the listeners of the podcast anyway, those that actually matter. But yeah, quality stuff. Get it while get it now.
Awesome.
It's too cheap before he figures out he's really undercharging.
There you go.
Price increase soon. Yeah, he's literally giving this stuff away, people.
Yeah,
ridiculous. Stone with magnet. Come on, pop that on your Hobbs box. So you paid more for the Hobbs box, and there's another piece you can use probably with Hobbs, with the tin electromagnet.
That's what they lend themselves to. Yeah, that's what they lend themselves to. I mean, if you have other things, like let's say you buy your Pro Mystic 3D scan, all right, man.
Yeah, you got your Pro Mystic, you got your Outlaw Effects stuff that Tim made.
Yeah.
With the Tim coils in it. I mean, you're good to go. You need some little Jimmies.
There you go. That's really what it's about because it's kind of funny when somebody takes and buys a gadget for let's say $600, all right, and it does stuff that's tremendously awesome, but yet I see a lot of people. Maybe buy a magnetic quarter or a magnetic whatever, and that's all they freaking use with it. It's just like, are you insane? You just spent how much on this item, and all you're doing is going around tossing out a quarter. Come on, there's so much more you can do with this thing.
Oh, especially with the Pro Mystic stuff. I mean, it is state of the art.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And that's one thing you can't buy off the Chinese.
You got that right.
Because the Chinese versions of the Pro Mystic stuff don't work, and there's a reason for that. I'm not going to tell anybody what it is, but there is a reason for that.
Oh, most definitely. And
that man is a genius.
Oh, you got that right. It's some of the stuff that he's coming out with, the new stuff that it's just flipping my head around. I mean, it's just like, that's insane. That is so cool.
And his stuff's not cheap. I mean, it's really high quality. It's not cheap. It's, bring $1,000.
Yeah. But, you can make some money off of that stuff. That's just it.
I mean, I don't use a lot of electronics in my stuff because I do a completely different act, but I mean, I got a couple, devices in the act. They're electronic, and they're about $4,000 a piece.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Also, I did want to bring this up. I don't think it's going to happen right away. But there are going to be some products within my line in a short bit of time that you're going to be able to use Labco with. All right? So they're not going to be, So they're going to be hollowed out, possibly. I just have to...
So they'll be RFID.
There you go. That's right. So
right,
it's going to be a totally different deal. And I'm working on it right now, so I'm having fun. And hopefully everyone will be able to see that. Most of my stuff right now, of course, is pretty much all PK items, all right? But that's something...
You are right now the main PK prop builder. I mean, the rest of them just want to sell you a magnet pack.
Yeah, you're right. And really, if you want to buy a pack of magnets, you don't have to go to anybody that's doing magic. You can pretty much get your magnet pack pretty much anywhere, I guess.
Yeah, really. I mean, they sell that, they got a little shim stock in there is what it's called. SHIM, shim stock. It's, you buy it by the roll. It's really cheap from the manufacturing supply companies, like Granger.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. You want something around, 10,000 to 30,000. It's real thin stuff for, shimming colors and stuff. You don't need to, pay them $50 for a little 1-inch piece of shim stock and 3 magnets. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That is
you can buy that crap for, $3.
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking money out of some Chinese dude's pocket, and I don't have a problem with it because they can steal my shit. Yeah, you like that motherfucker going broke? I may on a future psicast publish where you can get all those parts.
I think it's crazy that they have all those Chinese guys and stuff making thread loops and stuff, and bands or whatever. And it's just
they're not even any good. They break. You go to the machine, you get the real deal.
Right.
So look, guys, buy the stuff from the real makers. It's going to last. I mean, loops do break. That's a fact. I mean, they do. But there's good loops and there's bad loops. Buy the good loops. Buy the ones from the real makers.
Crying out loud, why don't people just make that? Why don't they make those? How hard is it to make a band? For crying out loud, I mean, that...
Well, there is a trick of time. You got to do like a fisherman's over-under not thing, but once you learn that, you can buy real stuff and, a good quality supplier of it.
Yeah.
And you're good. It's like the Chinese selling the rope, right? The magician's rope?
Yeah.
The so-called magician's rope. It's crap. Go to a company called Barton Trading.
Yeah.
Or Barron Trading. Barton Trading, Barron Trading. Yeah, get the real rope. I mean, it'll cost you $25 for a 50-foot hank or something. But it is so good quality.
I just think people are losing knowledge. They're losing knowledge because they're buying cheap stuff and they don't realize why should I buy this product opposed to that product? You know what I'm saying? They're losing
the reason you should buy the product is, one, it supports a good creator, for what little money they do make.
Yeah.
And the other reason, you get the best stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you want your PK Scarab in stone or plastic? Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I mean, a little faience would be cool, too, if you could, cast the sand and mold it. That'd be hot. Maybe passing those on eBay is a real deal. But then that's what I'm talking about is, there's a quality aspect that I don't think a lot of people, it's too much money. No, it's not. No, it is not too much money. For what that thing does?
Yeah. If they figure out what kind of work goes involved with creating an intricate piece of, basically there's intricate sculptures, there's a lot of...
I mean, I got some props that are just literally, they're holograms, printed holograms on some paper card that's been laminated, and they're $59 to $89 a piece. And what they do is absolutely amazing, and I kill with them. But they were made in like 93, and they're still a couple $100 a piece if you find one. Worth every penny, let me tell you.
Heck
I
yeah.
got probably $1,000 worth of
do.
stuff, and it's worth every penny.
Quite frankly, what are we doing? We're trying to entertain people, and that's key.
I'm creating miracles. I'm on a completely different. One of these cars actually makes the drinks taste better. It's really kind of crazy. They take the drink, goes on, it's like, okay, that's fine. They sit on the car for 30 seconds, they drink it again, it's smoother. It's better tasting. It's really wild.
Oh, my God. That's insane. That's
cool.
It
literally just snaps their mind. They're like, what? Yeah, it is hardcore stuff. But great stuff. And I published a couple versions of it myself. But it's old, psychotronic technologies.
Yeah.
But it's really cool stuff that you're just not going to have. Until you actually see it work, you're like, yeah, you can make a living with that. That is no work.
Yeah.
Zero. But that's what we like, because when you find the quality props, let me say this, when you find the real quality stuff, the high-end props, the amount of work you actually have to do to use those props is far less.
Yeah.
Generally speaking. Like if you go to like one of the coin builders, like Larson or Schoolcraft or one of the other guys, the high-end coin builders, right?
Yeah.
Those coins are so well made. The amount of you don't have to fight with them. They just work. They do exactly what they're supposed to. You might have to learn some moves, but they do what they're supposed to do. They are really phenomenal pieces of work.
I had a lot.
It's going to cost you $300, but get over it, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You don't like it, buy your own Bridgeport and spend 20 years learning how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot harder to do than you think it is. I know how to run a Bridgeport, and I wouldn't even want to attempt half that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know what kind of tolerances you got to be running, and it's tighter than probably what I run. It's as tight, or if not tighter than what I run. And I try to run at 0.02 of an inch. He's probably running at 0.10 of an inch, or something ridiculous.
How insane is that? That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, my variance is 2/1000 of an inch.
2/1000. Man.
Yeah. So it's like if it's 2 inches, it's going to be 1.999 or 997.8. Perfect. Woo. You measure it with a tape measure, someone else say 2 inches.
I can't say that I'm having to worry about that with my products, but thank God.
Yeah, we hold some tight tolerances, but our kitchen cabinets are the same way. When we do kitchen cabinets, we don't play around. We do really high-end precision work, but we also charge a lot for that.
Well, that's exactly.
But that's what they're paying for. They're paying for solid woods and real plies. We just got a batch of 9-ply in, maple 9-ply. It's 9 plies in the wood to make up the plywood. 3/4 of an inch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about $85 a sheet.
Woo!
Maybe a little bit more. It's a high-end cabinet furniture grade, but it's expensive,
Right.
We got a deal on it, and we took 20 sheets. But that's going to produce some quality stuff. That stuff's straight.
And it's going to last forever. That's the key. It's one thing, you can buy a product and pay a little bit of nothing. Let's think about this as a Walmart deal. You can buy something. This is a great. Okay, I just bought a chair from Walmart for my shop. It's one of those fold up metal chairs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pretty hefty guy. I'm not like crazy heavy or anything like that, but okay, I'm over 200 pounds, and I'm sitting there. Yes, I did. I was like, what the hell? Just, because it kind of went loose on one side. I get up, I look over, and one of the little grommet things popped out. And, of course, it's done. You just spent, $19 on a chair that it's done. So the next thing I did, I was like, what am I going to use? Because I don't want to buy another chair from Walmart. What am I going to do for a chair? Well, I went on Facebook, and they have this little marketplace on Facebook, and I just typed in wooden chair, and by God, a whole bunch of these really old chairs that are like 100 years old or whatever, and they're almost literally giving them away.
Yeah, I mean, there's groups that are everywhere on Facebook. There's groups in your town on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Search them.
Yeah. So I bought this really old wooden chair. I sanded it myself, refinished it myself. It looks just like brand new, solid as the day it was probably bought. And I don't think I'll ever have to replace that chair ever, And
that's the point.
That is the point. Yeah, you got that right. So
I will say when you guys buy these things, if you buy a couple at a time, you might want to do that on like scarabs if they're real small and people try to walk off with them. But just saying, because they're like, that's nothing else to get. I've had stuff disappear. I've had Buddhist amulets disappear all the time. And I said, all right, I got about 50 of them.
Well, hope to God no one walks away if you buy the scarabs and stuff. They are kind of cool, but
it's the kind of thing that's easily stolen. I mean, it's.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just realistic. I've done enough shows to where pieces come up missing. I watch the big stuff, like the neurophones and the big Malabeads and the relics and the real expensive stuff. I know exactly where that's at. At any given moment, even in a big crowd, I'm like, it's right over there. You were doing that other thing. I know, it's still right over there. We know exactly where all this stuff is.
Yeah, I usually try to lock my box up, too, because I have a box, if I ever perform and stuff like that, there's a box with a lock on it. It slides out. I forget who I bought that from. I was in Vegas when I bought that, but it's really nice. It's a nice little lightweight. You can roll it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Would you get it from Lupe?
No, actually, I did not. But
because Lupe Nelson is making some great stuff.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, I bought some stuff, though, from them. I can't remember. Oh, you know what I got? I got their teacup thing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's fun. And I forget what else I got. I got one of their...
Lupe Nelson's Norm Nielsen's wife, for the guys that, floating violin, for you guys that don't know. She's actually a master woodworker.
Oh, my God, yeah. Some crazy...
Yeah, she does amazing work. Those chairs she built recently, did you see a picture of those? The Danish ones with the curved, they're beautiful.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, she posted those a while back. They were gorgeous. I mean, they were really well done. And it was using all really advanced woodworking techniques that are, frankly, hard to do.
Right.
This chair probably took hours and hours. I can't even imagine. Ridiculous.
Made in the USA.
Made by Lupe. Pretty good, man. Yeah. I mean, if I lived in Vegas, I'd be having her build some of my furniture because it's good stuff, man. Yeah, I could probably do it myself, but I could have her do it and save myself 200 hours, That's worth the money, I'm telling you.
Well, I tell you what, that's one thing in the magic community. Everybody's good at something, I mean, have you ever heard of Bizarro?
Oh, yeah.
He makes some awesome props, too. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. I mean, he has his own website that he sells some of his small stuff in. But if you ask him, he can make some pretty cool stuff. My God, And he's got.
There's some great build. We're gonna try to get some more builders on the show because really the builders we're gonna try to highlight on the show are the guys that are actually out there doing it. Because they love it. If you don't love it, you're not really going to be lasting very long in this. Right.
It's a work of it's something that you do because you love to do it.
Yeah, because if you did it for money, you'd be insane. There is no money.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, in this stuff, most of these products are $20 to $50. There's no money.
No.
Not for the amount of hours that you spend, making one piece, because you want it right. You don't want to turn out junk. And that's the nice thing about, like, the builders like you, myself, and, 20 or 30 other guys like John Riggs. We're never going to turn out junk, dude.
Well, no. I mean, that's...
Because you need it today. It ain't going to happen. You ain't getting it today.
Right. Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. We don't build junk. We don't want junk around us. And it's a quality thing, too. Plus, this is the kind of stuff that I can see, some of us probably won't be around then, but 50, 60 years from now, guys are like, oh, is that little Jimmy's prop? Yeah, that's mine. $100, $200. Give it. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to be sought after because it's going to be, frankly, you can only make so much,
Well, that's just it, and then you see stuff in people's collections and what have you. You're exactly right.
I've made some big collections myself. I mean, I can't even believe I made some of them. Big collections.
Yeah.
But, this is the kind of thing that, once you get known and people find out about you, your stuff will end up in those collections too. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That is a fact. Because they'll buy it just for having it in the collection because they're like, that's really well made. Wow.
Right. Oh, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a lot of collections that have it. But I also want to see it utilized. I want to see people actually bring it into their show and kind of amaze people, mystify people a little bit. That's my hopes and dreams on it. I mean, if
but you made it well enough that it can be used, it can be displayed. It's not.
Oh yeah.
It's not the stuff that you're gonna hide in a drawer and only pull out every now and then because you need it for a quick gig or something. This is stuff it's real worker stuff.
Yeah. It's not drawer magic, that's for sure. I hear a lot of people, I got magic for sale. I'm cleaning out my drawer again. No. These pieces are not drawer magic. They're to be utilized, and a lot of people collect it. That's
I mean, I've sold off a lot of my collection, even a lot of the rare pieces in my collection. I've been selling them off just because I only want. Right now, the only thing I'm thinking about keeping is the stuff I actually use.
Right.
And a few select pieces that were made by friends of mine that are really well made. Those will stay around. But a lot of this other stuff, it can go. Stuff I bought just for buying it.
Right.
And stuff even from my old show. I mean, I've had to change shows several times, but some of the stuff that was in the old shows goes, because I'm not using it. I'd rather see somebody use it because, okay, sure. It cost me $6,000. You can pick it up for $1,000. Whatever. It's just in my way. It's big and it's in my way.
Oh, and that's what's fun with putting stuff online like that. If you're selling something and wow. People can buy something that was around $6,000 at one time, and they're getting a good crazy deal on it, and they can use it in their show. Everyone.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff I bought was professional quality or vintage stuff, like my Bizarre set, which is a Mortician's parlor back curtain. It's huge.
Oh my God.
The one they set up when they did funerals in the home. I also got an aluminum prayer bench that folds up. Both have cases.
Yeah.
And those were part of my Bizarre setup. I mean, my stage show. But that stuff is big and heavy. Heavy for me these days. It'd be like they're in a small case. My whole show today maybe 20 pounds with boxes and tables. I mean, it's pretty light.
That's awesome.
And back in the room merchandise. I mean, it's pretty light, but I deliberately went to that style because I'm getting older and I'm tired of carrying, 80-pound backdrops.
Well, yeah, that does suck to have to, have a show and then bring off all these huge props that people don't realize. It takes a little bit of oomph to get these things set up and, build them up and stuff, I mean, wow, I remember talking to this one guy. He was doing just small shows in Vegas, and he's doing kids shows. And even with the smaller props that he had, they were still big enough where he had to lug them out of his car and
kid show props. Those guys carry around so much stuff.
Crazy.
It would drive me nuts, man. It looks like they've set up their close-up night table stand, and that's their entire stand, and maybe another small table. But you got to realize, by the time he gets done, he's got 70 or 80 pieces on the stage. It's ridiculous.
I know. And it's just like, and then, you have your speakers and everything else you have to bring out there to get a full show set up and stuff. It's like, woo, I don't know.
I mean, I got an 8-hour workshop now that I do nothing. I bring nothing.
Well,
8 hours, man.
That's kind of why I started developing these little props here, because how cool is it to go out there on stage and do a skit that basically you can pull out of your pocket, and you can use people in your audience. So you got audience participation. I mean, that's two of the biggest deals. You bring out your audience.
Not much. I mean, just with the wood scan thing, right? And if we do like that, we said with a line of people, we can get 5 or 6 people on stage. They can pass behind their back, and you don't know who's got it.
Yeah.
You know?
And how long is that
bring their hand forward, and you run down the way, and boom, there it is. I mean, that's a huge effect for the cost of a cheap PK ring and a $20 piece, man.
There you go. That's exactly right. I mean, and for the people that invested like $600 or so plus money in their electronics devices that can read magnets and read directional magnets, this is a no-brainer. I mean, you need props like this because, quite frankly, the only other option you got is a coin, And
you got the coin, and you got a few things, but over the years, but you don't have anything like an old pre-Columbian fetish or a scarab or anything. Although I think there was another guy years ago that made a few scarabs with some magnets in them, but they didn't look great.
I talked to somebody that was in, I don't know if it was Ireland. It was maybe in the UK or something like that. I sold him a scarab. He said he made scarabs, back in the day. But he said he couldn't believe the quality of my scarabs, and the way they looked and everything.
Yeah, I was thinking that one guy was somewhere out of Europe or something. I remember seeing a couple of scarabs.
We might be
and they were better than some of the other ones. I mean, some of the ones that were made in the States were trash. They didn't even look like scarabs. And I own ancient Egyptian scarabs. I know what they look like,
Well, me too. I love antiques. I love ancient items. That's to take that visual idea and make something that you can do magic with. That to me that tripped me out. I'm like, I trip myself up. I'm just like, this is awesome. And like I said, that's sort of how they came about because, and you know what? I don't know if it was you or somebody else. Somebody was telling me they looked at my first scarab I brought out, and they were like, "Does it have hieroglyphics?"
That'd probably be me. Yeah.
And I was like, and as soon as they said that, and it might have been you, and I'm like, well, no, they don't. And I'm like, well, I could engrave it. I could put something on there, but I'm thinking, let's make a better scarab. Let's try to get. That's what triggered me to make that other set, and then I made.
There was nothing wrong with having a scarab that didn't have anything on it, but traditionally the two scarabs would be placed on the heart, and they would have an engraving of, like to Osiris or something, or the person's name on it, or the horse, the god of the underworld, or something like that. Right. Now, I mean, truthfully, nobody knows how to read hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
I mean, the language of ancient Kemet, they don't know how to read.
Oh, you know what I did,
Bill? They act like they do. They don't know shit. Because I talked to the guys that study that stuff, and high-level professors too. He's like, that translation's completely wrong, that one's wrong, that one's wrong, it should look like this. And then when you read his translations, you're like, oh, that means the temple's over there. He's like, yep, we already found it.
Right.
Because these other boneheads don't know how to read.
Check this out. After you said that to me, I bought a hieroglyphics book. I swear to God. I was like, because I didn't know how to read hieroglyphics. You know, I didn't know what I was wanting to put down or whatever.
You bought the Dover one, the bulge?
I bought, I don't know what it's called. It was an old book. I bought it on eBay or something. You know, one of those, somebody was selling a used book type deal, and it said hieroglyphics. I'm like, son of a gun, that's what I need. I want that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's how I was able to get my hieroglyphics onto my other beetles and stuff like that. Because, quite frankly, I could have just made up images, but that would
be, you know, most people don't know how to read it, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I just wanted to...
But, I mean, try at least an attempted authenticity, you know, and you're making it out of stone anyway. It's just going to add that much little detail that actually makes it more believable. Because actually on the old scarabs, most of them, the impression's so weak and so poorly made, you can't tell what it says. You know? But you see there's some engraving there, which is cool. And you don't really know, but you don't know what it says. But there's something there. It could be deciphered under, you know, magnification and X-rays and stuff. But
yeah, right.
But it's just the point that, you know, there's a little authenticity issue. Plus, the stuff you're making now looks like it'll actually feel right too, because it's stone. You know, that's going to feel right, or clay, or you know, whatever. It's going to have that. It's going to have that more believable, tactile feel. A lot of people that make bizarre props, when you look at them, they look okay from 20 feet. But when you touch it, it don't look that right. Something don't feel right.
I see what you're saying. That's true. And really, you want your audience to be able to be engulfed in it a little bit. You want them to be able to grab it, feel it, you know, to be fairly authentic, you know.
I'm going to hand them out as artifacts.
Right, exactly. When I paint these things, it's with the goal to make them look old, unless I'm painting them in a custom fashion. You know, if I'm painting them custom, then you know it's to go with somebody's what the direction they want to go into. But when I paint them myself and I build up certain ones, I paint them to make them look like they might have just been dug up from a scene, or you know, they have a lot of.
You want a certain level of believability, even if you're using a fake prop. I mean, it's.
Yeah, exactly.
You want it to be, well, as our buddy says, you know, a matter of opinion whether it's real or fake, and that's a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the Mystic Alexandria concept, he was on the program a while back, but, you know, that concept of where you look at something, you know, like, is it real or is it fake? It's a matter of opinion. But he looks close enough that nobody's going to care. And having it made out of a stone or something really hard that give it some weight, that, I'm not even going to think magnet.
You know,
I'm going to think, how did he put a magnet in a stone?
If I built them out of plastic, it'd be totally different. You wouldn't have the weight, you wouldn't have the feel, you wouldn't have the actually look. You know, the look would be off. You can't paint something plastic like that and make it look aged and what have you. It starts looking plasticky aged. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
yeah, it doesn't look right. I mean, there's techniques that have been developed. They look better from a distance, but they don't. You know, when you touch it, it's like it's crap.
It's like nope. Yeah, exactly.
And there's a believability issue. I mean, I deal with believability issues because I'm working real. I'm not working, you know, pseudo real. I'm actually doing some stuff I use in my show. Is real technology was developed. I just most people don't know about it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, like I said, my stuff is far below your stuff, but the
quality. Yeah, your stuff's going in one of my acts, so that's pretty good.
Now, that is cool. You made it
that far, baby.
Hey, that is awesome. I love it. Yeah, I mean, to be on the show too is insane. I mean,
Well, we look for new underground talent, and that's just a fact.
Well, I'm glad to be considered that. I mean, that's awesome. That's great.
Because magic in general. This is a general statement on magic, and mainly focusing on the bizarre mentalist aspects, not the general magic, but general magic too. We need more quality builders. Fact. But we need the quality builders to do something unique and different. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I hope
we don't want the same old. I mean, we don't. We're tired of it.
Yeah. I'm hoping what I'm doing is actually something a little bit different. Something that people are going to go, oh wow, that's even if it's been done in certain ways before. I'm hoping that that what I do is something that they're going to look at and go, oh, that's maybe they can later on say that it's been done by me because it looks like it's been done by me,
Yeah, but I think back in the day when I started in this business, back in the 80s, there were more guys that were building, hey, they were building some quality stuff, man. And then you got guys in the 70s that were building some quality stuff. Hudson Hale, built some quality stuff. Brahma now builds some quality stuff. Craig Masick, some good stuff. For the lower end stuff, Well, under 100 stuff,
Yeah.
But these guys are putting out. They're putting out some mass-produced stuff, but they're also putting out. It's quality. It's quality, and Bumma, when I released a couple of big effects through Stevens, this is a few years back, but Stevens said I had the most products sold 4 times on the top 10 list. I got beat out by Bumma. I was mad. I was mad.
Oh.
No, but I had 4 products in that top 10 list, which is actually pretty good, because most magic products, they sell 20 of, But I made the top 10 4 times that year. It's never been done before, so that was pretty good. And I released some really, that was the year I released Forcing Pendulums, Conundrums, and a couple others. That was a pretty powerful year, but. And it still wasn't a lot of money, but it was just, the quantity sold and the prices were wild. $25, $40, something like that. But it wasn't expensive stuff, but, I made a list, so, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then I got beat out by Bum. If you're listening to this, I don't like you. Just for that, man. And he did to me a couple times, too. We have, have a little feud thing going on.
Right.
But he keeps putting out killer stuff. It's killer quality. Louis Gaynor is another builder that's carried exclusively by Stevens that makes some really good quality stuff out of wood. It's nice, man. He's made the new radon tables, man. Woo! Only made 6 or 7 of them. Man, they're nice. I want one. They're about $2,000. And they're based on the customer design, the real table. So,
heck yeah.
But that's a horrendous amount of work, people, to build those things. Because the mechanisms in them are really complicated, and there's one that's used from the old Venture 3. It's one of the early customers on eBay. I think it might still be on eBay. It's like $2,000. It's a fair price, actually.
Wow.
If you need a reader's table. Wow. But, these are really complicated devices, and they're kind of delicate. Louis made one, and made his is a little taller, so, it's a little easier for us bigger guys to get underneath the table. Sit like we would a normal reading table. Really cool stuff. But, it's the whole quality thing, man. I am more attracted to quality than I am probably, what does the thing do? Yeah, great, okay. Is it quality? That's what I want to know. But, with your stuff, it's so versatile. If I need a PK item, I can buy that. I I can use it for PK effects, or I can use it just as an ancient object. And that's really cool to me. Because that opens up a whole lot of other doors that most people have never even thought about.
Well, I also was thinking, check this out, with my skulls. I was thinking about, and I'm limited to what I can do with shop equipment that I have. So once I build up some more shop equipment, you'll see probably some of these releases. But I was even thinking about making skull candle holders, you know, with the small black candles or whatever, so people can actually do some pretty interesting, bizarre work with that, you know.
I pick up a set of those for smoke reading, so I can use a little black candle and draw pictures of smoke on a card. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So hopefully,
and this one act I do is it's a spirit drawing on a card with candle smoke. But man, that's a great act. I make a lot of money doing that act.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of stuff that, you know, because it's the unusual prop that you don't see everywhere, like a Walmart and Kmart, or even the antique stuff that was mass-produced. When you get to the unusual stuff, it says a lot about philosophy to the person using it.
Yes.
But it also conveys a whole new set of hidden meanings and identifications and things that people imagine and think about, and, you know, we're just seeing the prop. Props are very, very strong, and they don't even have to do anything half the time. They just have to be unusual. And the more unique they are, the more identifiable to a certain style or a certain image that can be implanted in their head. Really amazing stuff. But, you know, you got to get into some pretty hardcore, abstract props for that. Handmade stone stuff, there you go. It's a great example. It really is.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And that's, you know, I can't compete with whatever somebody can buy from Walmart, you know, to throw into their show or what have you, or they can grab the supplies from Walmart and make something. You know, so and it's a niche market that I think we all are in.
Yeah, I think magic is a niche market, and that's why I said, let's forget about the knockoff crap, and let's go start, you know, buying a prop that, well, you know, you got the tool. And that's your tool with the magnet. Figure out something to do with it. But that'll, you know, that's the point that's unique to that performer, and I love that when I see that, because when you see it, you know he didn't buy that because he wanted a routine with it. He bought it because he had something in mind he wanted to do with it, and then he put it to use. And when he got done, it was amazing.
That's the name of the game, you know, to make something or to bring something out that makes you stand above somebody else for the rest, you know. So,
and it's not even a question of, you know, what's the best? That you know, they all ask, what's the best? I'm like, well, the best was made in 1952, but you can't afford it.
You're right. Right.
And they all say, like, you know, well, what's the best? Well, the best, the one I particularly used was made, you know, I got one of the place I'm looking at right now, was made in 70, or one's made in 83 and the other one's made in like 77. It's 35 minutes of my shell, and I don't do anything with it. It's probably the best thing I've ever seen, but it's not cheap. You know, so what is the best? I mean, the best is, you know, best quality, the best, you know, what? I don't understand that whole argument. You know, well, the best, you know, you mean the best stuff that the hot new magic shop sells, or, you know, what are you really talking about here?
Right. Well, you know, with small stuff like this, like I'm producing right now, they're not going to see this anywhere else. You know, pretty much not many people in the industry are making stuff by what I'm doing by hand. You know.
Oh no. Now you're pretty much in your own league there.
And like I said before, the only person I'm competing with is myself. You know, just trying to better myself. You know, and that's where I like to be. I'm glad that that's what I'm doing. You know, I love the idea that I'm thinking of new and different ideas for the props and maybe different directions to go too. But I want to kind of keep it simple too. I don't want to, you know, I was thinking about going in with the guy that was doing. I wanted to do something with the guy with the electronic reader. I think he's got something going there that's amazing. But at the same token, that's not the direction I really want to go into. You know.
I think that's a good direction to go. Just to, you know, because you need some guy that can make really high-end RFID stuff. He can, right. You know, he makes the RFID stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not like it's something he wants to take the time to make either. I mean, he's, you know, when they get it from you, it's just, you know.
That's what makes us a good combination. I think we could do sets where I could make a certain set that would go with his reader, and I think it would sell the reader even better, you know.
I think it's beneficial for both of you. It's not like a one-sided argument. And then that's the other thing. People contact me with the project, and I'm like, yeah, I'll help you with it, but, you know, this is what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
You know? Because they don't understand what a laser tube costs when it burns out, and it's good for 2,000 hours, and it costs $2,000 to replace.
Oh, yeah, exactly. People don't realize
we had one burn out.
That's cost. Yeah.
It's 4.5 feet tall, man.
That's insane. That's crazy.
It's pretty cool. We're going to mount it on the wall. The dead tube, but we're going to mount it on the wall in the lecture hall. Just because it's a cool looking piece of glass, but it's an expensive piece of glass. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
And that put me down. That put me in a massive backlog because it was only one of the machines I usually use. But what are you gonna do? You know.
You do what you have to do. You know. Yeah. You gotta. You know, those things aren't cheap. They don't come cheap. You have to. I mean, I forget this. I was looking at this. It's a laser cutter and stuff. And they're, Jesus Christ, they're like $3,000, $4,000 or something like that for this little system that, you know. And then if like you were saying, if that laser goes out, guess how much you're going to pay for that, you know? It's like, ooh.
Yeah, we got 3. We have an epilogue now. That was $15,000 in the shop.
$15,000. Woo.
The other one's 10. The other one's 5. CNCs are 10 and 15. I mean, this is, dude, it's a car, dude. But we can make stuff that most people can never think about making, and we do.
Yeah,
and we're not. It's not even a production wood shop. It's more of a hobby wood shop. There's, I don't know, stacks of craziness in there. And there's cool tools. There's unique tools out there that do weird stuff out of Japan, and you know.
Yeah.
Like I
just have a basic shop for myself right now, but I've really improved on it.
You know, you just start. We go to a tool show and drop, you know, a few $100 every time we go.
Yep. Most definitely.
Or some guy invented a new tool that we never seen before. I'm like, yeah, that is pretty cool. It only does one thing, but it's pretty cool. I'll take it. It does that one thing really well. And then one thing it does is really hard to do when you're like, you know, compound angles on cannons. I mean, you know, to get that kind of precision, I don't even know if we could probably do it on the CNC, but it's still tough. You know? It's still tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
But this one machine we got, he bought, a buddy of mine bought it, and it was like $800 plus a couple $100 to ship it out of Japan. But it's really cool.
Japan makes some pretty awesome stuff. I have to admit that.
Yeah, it's a giant hobby shop until he actually retires and we'll start really producing stuff. But, you know, whatever.
Well, that's awesome.
What he does
my new purchase is to get a shop dust machine that is pulling the dust out of there. I finally broke down and had to buy one of those because of all the sculpting I'm doing and stuff. You know?
Oh, and stone. I'm telling you, stone just throws dust everywhere.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, I cut some alabaster and marble for some sculptures I was doing in it with power tools. I mean, it was that white powder is still in the shop 5 years later. Still sweeping that crap up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm taking the broom to just about every object that's out there. You know, sweeping the dust off of it and then sweeping it in the pan.
This piece of sculpture, I mean, it was only like 3 inches.
Yeah, you look at what I'm doing. I'm doing those little ones too right now. So
just, I mean, little tiny thing. Probably enough dust to fill, you know, a big wood chop. It's ridiculous. That stuff is terrible.
It's such a fine powder that it just floats everywhere. You know.
Yeah, they have no appreciation for what you're dealing with. It's the most annoying powder too.
Yeah, once I get that system going, then it's going to be a piece of cake. It's going to pull it right out of there and suck it right into a big old vat thing that will hopefully I can just empty out every other week or something like that. You know.
Yeah, we got there's in the main shop there's 4 dust collectors. It's not enough.
Yeah, you're dealing.
And they're not small.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that it really does make a big difference. Robert, you got anything for Jim?
Nope. I think that's it. I mean, those are all the questions that I did have. So, but really, really cool stuff. I mean, they're self-explanatory. So they're good.
Yeah, I dig it. I bought 2 pieces. I'm buying 2 pieces.
Yeah.
Very cool. Pretty much, you can go to Little Jimmy's Prop Shop. You can PM me, too. You can go to, I'm under James R. Carter. That's one of them that you can go. I think I'm listed under Jim Carter. I'm the guy with the round glasses. So I don't think there's too many Jim and James Carters that have round glasses. So you should be able to see me whenever you type in my name, and you can pull me up and friend me and message me and do all that stuff. So
yeah, but sign up at the Little Jimmy's Prop Shop and get a free scarab being given away.
Yep, get a free scarab if you join the group. Also, you know, there's going to be other promotional items along the way too. So just watch out for that. I'm going to get a writer's cramp by writing all the names out on my little.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the way. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, but it's